Video game movies are fucking terrible. When I was growing up, the only video game movies we had were the Prince of Persia and this weird 2001 Tomb Raider movie, and that's just about it. But now it seems like we're stuck at a time where there's just a new video game movie coming out every year, and they still fucking suck. Not Sonic, that was okay. It wasn't like fantastic or anything, it was just fun and good. Also, that Tetris movie was kind of cool, but fuck these things. Where it all started. This was really the first big movie release based on a video game that I remember, other than Wreck-It Ralph. That was just kind of like a movie that had video game stuff in it. This is a movie directly based on the story of the video game. This guy, Cal, goes back to the 1400s in Spain to basically learn how to fight the Templars in the present times. Hello, Desmond.
Another day, another ancestor.
The problem with these movies is that you don't capture the same energy that you do with the games. I mean, this movie lasts an hour and 56 minutes. There are videos on YouTube of essentially movies watching all the cutscenes from Assassin's Creed 2 that last roughly 3 times that. How do you condense that much information into a 2-hour movie? Well, I'm running off of memory here because you got me fucked up if you think I'm going back to watch this shit on Prime for $4. But honestly, it did okay. Maybe it's because I came from the game, so I understand what the story is supposed to be, and any loose details I can kind of piece together on my own. But the problem they don't understand is that Assassin's Creed was never popular because of the story. It's actually, as a matter of fact, the most boring part of the fucking game. The cool part is doing this shit. But you don't get to do that in the movie, and action scenes in a movie is nothing even similar to being able to control your character and doing the same thing. It's just not as interactive, and I think it left a lot of Assassin's Creed fans, all 4 of them, feeling let down. But let's be honest, this movie was never going to live up to the hype anyway. I think this movie is a great example to prove my point that movies and games are 2 separate experiences entirely. Looking at Rotten Tomatoes, you have a 95% audience score shrouded by a 59% critic score. Critics are always going to be more harsh than your average audience, but the fact of the matter is, they are right. A lot of them say that it's just colorful and thinly plotted, but it's the audience that understands that that's the game. The game itself is colorful and thinly plotted. That's the shtick. To be fair, the directors did have to turn something that looks like this into a fully fledged Hollywood blockbuster with 3-dimensional characters, a fully planned out plot that it lasts 2 hours. Now, that is definitely not what you're getting with this movie, but is it Mario's fault that the story that comes with the game isn't really fully fledged? No, Mario doesn't need a fully fledged story to be fun because the gameplay is fun. There's no gameplay in the movie, you're just watching it. Imagine if you watched your brother play Mario. That shit would not be fun. So with very little plot to the games and almost nothing to go off of, did they really do that bad? Yep. Again, credit where credit is due, but to me, this movie will always be known for its totally fucking wacky lineup of voice actors for the characters.
First, of course,
the fuck?
Mario's little brother,
What the
Luigi,
fuck?
will be played by Charlie Day.
What the
Bowser
fuck?
will be played by the one, even though this is a Mario movie, Donkey Kong will also be made.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Starring actors such as Cate Blanchett as Lilith. What do you mean? Kevin Hart as Roland? Yeah, you know, the soldier guy who always had a stick up his ass, really reserved? Yeah, we're gonna have Kevin Hart play the only character he knows how to play, the funny, short, loud black guy who repeats the joke at you until it's funny.
Can I come with you and you show me how it's done? I may need your help.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Tanis? She's so fucking old. What? Wait, and Jack Black as Claptrap? Is there just a rule that he has to be in every bad video game adaptation? Claptrap is a CGI character anyway. They could have just got the actual voice actor to do the character, and you would lose nothing. Actually, you would gain a more credible cast of characters for staying true to the video game. This looks like you recruited Comic-Con cosplayers to do your movie for you. And I actually did decide to try and give this one a watch, and yeah, it's trash. They try. Like, you can tell there was an attempt made to adhere to the characters there, but really, they just go full Jumanji and have it be some meta joke about people learning how the game works. I mean, just look at this scene from the trailer.
What is that smell?
Piss wash coming.
Ew!
Put the window up.
I don't want to! Roll the window up!
Roll it up.
It's Pete. It's Pete. Why do you think it's called piss wash? How did I get the name?
It's in my mouth!
Wow, that was so funny, and it added so much to the movie. This movie wasn't received well by, like, literally everyone, so that's why it came out just a few months ago, and literally no one is talking about it. Another problem with Borderlands is that the story of the movie doesn't exactly line up with the game, like, at all. This movie has the same drawback as all the other video game movies. The gameplay is not there to save you when the story kind of sucks dick. And I really hate to hammer this point home, but I feel like I gotta, because they keep making movies about games where the fun part is playing the game. The fun part of Borderlands is blowing shit up. So if you don't get the story of Borderlands and you don't get the gameplay like vibe of Borderlands, then what the fuck is the point of making a movie that has Borderlands in the title? It has all the characters, but literally nothing else is Borderlands here. It looks like they were betting on the big names to come in and save the movie, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, that shit did not fucking work at all. Okay, this movie is going to be fucking terrible. Let's just accept that and move on. We have weird casting issues where the actor doesn't fit the character at all, like Jack Black as Steve. He literally just looks like he got out of bed and showed up on set. Jason Momoa is here for some reason, just like Borderlands, casting big names just for the sake of some recognition. And these people, yeah, they're here too. Not to mention the absolute shit show polarizing animation character models that we've seen. I really don't need to point those out. But whatever you imagine this movie to be like, do you think it's anywhere close to what your personal experience with Minecraft actually is? They chose one of the worst games for this adaptation because of how limitless Minecraft is. Some people who play Minecraft love to build, they love to do redstone, they love to mine, they love to farm, they love to get online and do PvP. You know, there are so many different experiences and play styles that you can do with Minecraft. It's a sandbox game, anything is possible. There's also really no story at all. Again, it's a sandbox game. It just lets you do whatever you want. So with such an open experience that is allowed for a lot of people to come in and find something for them and enjoy the game, how are they going to make a movie that has a linear, preset experience?
Now, Minecraft, how is that going to be a movie?
Exactly.
Oh, we have to figure it out.
Well, it's like not obvious. It's like, that can't be a movie, can it?
Yeah.
Or can it? Yes, it can.
It can. Wow.
I mean, sure, you can tell one experience. You can have a movie about, you know, Redstone or whatever. But the thing is, they're going to end up doing the Super Mario Bros. Thing, and they're going to kind of just make it up as they go, and they're going to make it probably about fighting the Ender Dragon or whatever, and then it's going to be an experience where almost no one can relate to it, and it's not actually about Minecraft, it's just a story that has Minecraft in the backdrop, and that's it. And it's going to be totally uninspired and fucking garbage, and no, this shit does not work as a movie. You dumb motherfucker! Movies and games are just not compatible mediums at all. There is a level of depth and detail that cannot be accessed by movies, which is fine. I'm not saying one is better than the other. But don't make a movie about a game that attempts to capture the experience of the video game. The lack of gameplay and interaction with a movie means that you are at an immediate disadvantage when trying to wow the audience that has previous experience with games that have the potential for much, much deeper immersion. You can include a scene about anything that references the game, but there is a difference between being shown something and actually doing something yourself. A good example of a game with a good story making a good movie is The Last of Us show. The Last of Us is probably the only good video game adaptation. It's a show, so it has a lot of time to cover a lot of detail, the story is one of the best in gaming, and the actors take their roles very seriously and they knock it out of the park. It was so good that it inspired Halo to try to do the same thing, but apparently the directors of Halo missed the part where The Last of Us was actually good because that show was so fucking bad it got canceled after 2 seasons.
God damn
If your story isn't good, then God help your soul. Be prepared to get absolutely shit on by IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, or worse, Moist Critical. Honestly, I would like to see these directors try and make something original. If it sucks, then it sucks, but at least it doesn't have to follow in the shadow of something that is already established. You can be more creative that way, and at least you don't have the possibility of disappointing any passionate fans. And at the end of the day, in that scenario, at least you've come up with something fresh. Unlike any of the review scores for video game movies.